Good morning and welcome to the 2023 School District of Niagara Veterans Day program. Thank you all for coming today. I'm Mason Richtig and I will be the MC of today's program. Veterans Day is intended to thank and honor all those who served honorably in the military, both living and dead, whether in wartime or peace. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise, remove your caps, and place your hand over your heart for the presentation and posting of the colors, followed by the playing of the national anthem by the Niagara Middle and High School Band under the direction of Ms. Kim Yeager. Color guard, please post the colors. Thank you. You may be seated. Being a member of the military can mean many things. For some, especially during times in America is at war, it can mean fighting in battles, but for many others it can mean doing other vital jobs, like going to help after a natural disaster or training troops from other countries, or just doing one of the thousands of jobs that are necessary to ensure that America is always ready to respond when something happens. Members of the military serve in many different ways, both within the United States and at bases or at sea around the world. But while the ways in which they serve can be quite different, all veterans have some things in common. They all left their homes and families to endure difficult and often dangerous training. They all vowed to selflessly serve their country whatever ways they were asked to, no matter what they were asked to sacrifice, and they all strove to live the values expressed in the Army's Soldier's Creed.
I'm an American soldier.
I'm a warrior member of the team.
I serve the people of the United States and live the Army values.
I will always place the mission first. I will never accept defeat.
I will never quit.
I'll never leave a fallen combat.
I am disciplined, physically and mentally tough.
Trained proficient in my word, task, and drill.
I always maintain my arms, my equipment, and myself.
I am an expert and I am a professional.
I stand ready to deploy, engage, and destroy the enemies of the United States of America in close combat.
I'm the guardian of freedom and the American way of life. I'm an American soldier.
Trained and proficient in my warrior tasks and drills. I always maintain my arms, my equipment, and myself. I am an expert and I am a professional. I stand ready to deploy, engage, and destroy the enemies of the United States of America in close combat.
In the words of one veteran, I thought if I had the capability to serve, I had the responsibility to. Many men and women I met felt the same. I may not have been in combat, but I gave all I had, and so do many who never give the opportunity to serve at the highest level. Many get injured in the training necessary to create warriors, and they are no less valuable because they did not see action. The capability of our nation to go to war claims lives and requires sacrifice. Today, we honor all who have served. The elementary students will now perform the song, "Thank You, Soldiers." The kindergarten, under the direction of Mrs. Dollar and Mrs. Steinbrecher, will now perform Red, White, and Blue. Thank you, kindergarten. Next up, students from Mrs. Santoni and Mrs. Champagne's first grade class will perform the song, See the Veteran. Thank you, first graders. Next will be Mrs. Pip and Mrs. Wood's second grade class singing Grand Ole Flag. Schrader.
Brave and very positive.
Brave, courageous, and selfless.
Strong. Hard work.
I would describe a soldier as confident, disciplined, and a multifaceted person.
A soldier to me is a person that is willing to give up everything to fight for their country.
When I think of a soldier, I think of someone thoughtful and considerate.
A good way to describe a soldier is courageous.
Who's selfless and self-sacrificing and courageous.
Strong, big, brave, good-hearted, and courageous.
Thank you for serving for our country.
Thank you for your service. It means a lot to me.
Thank you for your service.
I can say thank you for protecting us.
Being respectful to all veterans and saying thank you to them.
Thank you for protecting us.
Really appreciate you for your service.
Thank you for your service.
Happy Veterans Day.
I would thank a soldier by giving him a warm, welcoming smile or a little gesture, and I would give him a salute and thank him for his service.
Today, we are honored to have a special guest speaker, Army veteran and Niagara graduate Roger Allen. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Allen.
Before I get started this morning, I have one very important job to take care of. That is to present a certificate of appreciation to Mrs. Denise Eichinger. It's in recognition and sincere appreciation of outstanding service and assistance which contributed to the advancement of the American Legion programs and activities dedicated to God and country. It is signed by Bruce LaLiberty, our adjutant, and Stephen Wesher, our commander. Mrs. Eichinger couldn't be here today, so Mr. Berkland will be accepting it on her behalf. Good morning. Oh, no. That just won't do. If you're going to be involved in the military, you have to understand one thing. When you go into the military, they like to do things loud. Probably because they can't hear very well anymore, but they want to do things loud. So in your best outside voice, let me hear you. Good morning. Great job. When I get all done, you can say goodbye the same way. All right, my name is Roger Allen. I was a sergeant in the United States Army Military Police from 1971 to 73. I'm not going to tell you about any war stories today, as you probably heard them plenty of times over the years. Instead, I'd like to talk to you about why veterans are important to our nation's history and its future. Veterans are the backbone of this country. Without them, there would be no United States of America, no life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness, and no way to ensure that our country will continue to be the land of opportunity has been known to be. Veterans have protected our rights as Americans and made the dreams of our forefathers possible. War, although horrid, is inevitable within humanity. And our future veterans will be there to protect our blessed American land and values. Throughout history, our veterans have put their lives on hold and at risk to protect our country. When war starts, many are afraid. Our veterans were afraid as well, but they answered the call of duty and rose up to fight for our nation. Many had to endure hunger, loss, pain, and desperation, but still fought with a purpose, willing to give the ultimate sacrifice. Though some are now old and frail, suffering from PTSD, or just trying to fit back into society, we acknowledge their service and display our gratitude as much as possible. These same veterans are the backbone of our country and our community. They do the volunteer work most others don't want to do. They coach your sports teams. They selflessly donate to community causes, and they volunteer to assist other veterans in need. They are the members of the VFW and American Legion who work to honor all veterans. They assist at the VA hospital wherever needed, and I am proud to be an American veteran and a member of the American Legion. Thank a vet for their service any chance you get. It will always be sincerely appreciated. Thank you for a wonderful Veterans Day program. It means the world to us and to our country. Now, when I first started, I said I wasn't going to tell any war stories, but I will tell you a story, probably more like a learning lesson. And it starts out with, what is the maximum effective range of a .45? Now, as I said before, I was a military policeman, and the motto in the military police is that you would be a soldier's soldier. That meant your uniform had to be perfect, boots shine, no smudges on your brass, nothing like that. So when we went to work every day, we'd stand an inspection. And we did that the first time when we left the barracks. We went to the police station, and for some reason we had another inspection. Same thing, you went through, checked all your brass, all your buttons, your shoes, everything else. We were just ready to go to work, and the colonel, who's called the provost marshal, it's kind of like the chief of police, he came out. He pointed at the squad leader and he said, "I'd like to have an inspection." So this is the third time now. So what we did, we lined up, and the colonel would come down the line and he'd look at every soldier and he'd ask them some sort of military question that you were supposed to be able to answer. As he came down the line, he finally got to me and he said, "Let me look at your sidearm, soldier." So I took out my gun and I handed it to him, and he looked at it and he said, "What's the maximum effective range of a .45? And I had three immediate thoughts in my head, but they kind of came just a tad late. And when he asked, "What's the maximum effective range of a .45, soldier?" I said, "As far as you can throw it, sir." Now, getting back to those instantaneous thoughts, my first one was, this is going to be the funniest thing I've ever said in my life. The second thought was, this is going to be bad. And I was trying to grab the words and put them back in my mouth, but that didn't work. And my third thought was, I hope this guy's got a sense of humor. Well, he didn't. He looked down the line at the squad leader, pointed at him, pointed at me, "Get him out." And that was actually the first time I got a kick in the pants. Now, when I say first time, that kind of implies there was more than one, but we're only going to talk about this one today. So anyway, thank you for allowing me to be a part of your Veterans Day program. It's been an honor for me to be here and share this day with you. Goodbye.
Thank you, Mr. Allen. We are so grateful that you took the time to be with us today. The high school band will now perform the songs of each branch of the service. Veterans who are present, we will ask you to stand when your branch's song is played. While we do not have the sheet music for our first two branches, we of course would like to honor all and will play a recorded version of their songs. If you are a veteran or currently serving in the Coast Guard, please rise. If you are a veteran or currently serving in the Space Force, please rise. If you are a veteran or currently serving in the Navy, please rise. If you are a veteran or currently serving in the Army, please rise. If you are a veteran or currently serving in the Marines, please rise. If you are a veteran or currently serving in the Air Force, please rise. Thank you, Ms. Yeager and the band, for that wonderful performance. We would now like to take the time to acknowledge each of the veterans who are with us today. Veterans, please stand when your name is called. Audience, please hold your applause until all of the names have been read. Stephen Wescher, Scott Heggie, Nick Buckland, Calvin Towns, Beaver Towns, Phil Towns, Jeremy Ansrell, Dan Beauchamp, Heather Amundson, Joshua Davis, Glenn Langtang, Levi Bjorkman, Roger Allen, William B. Smith, Alan Dunlap, Christine Vaj, Suzanne Gedvik, Jerry Gedvik, Patrick Thompson, Valentine Thompson, Ken Van Erel, Mike Legvis, Abel Murray, Bruce Legebert, Greg Holmes, Devin Bohannon, Ray Howen, Jordan Whitlow, Ron Johnson, Deborah Spire, Lucy Fringer, Sam Hanel, Dan Rekla, Carl Lemro, Wayne Tom, Grace Murray, Phil Westrick, and Mike Madison. Thank you, veterans, for your service and for being with us today. We are deeply honored by your presence. Before we leave, we would like to take a moment to silently reflect upon the sacrifices made by our military veterans. Please stand, place your right hand over your heart, and join me in this moment of silence. Color Guard, please prepare to retire the colors. Students and guests, as the colors are retired, please remember to stand with your right hand over your heart. Please be respectfully quiet and reflect upon the service of our veterans. Thank you, Color Guard. Audience, you may be seated. This concludes the 2023 School District of Niagara Veterans Day program. Thank you all for coming. We'd like to invite our guests to visit our Hall of Heroes, located in the hallway near the district office, which can be accessed through the theater. We have coffee and cookies compliments of Mrs. Lundeen and her cooking staff for our guests. If you know of any service members who are not featured in the hall, please let the district office know. Guests, you may exit first.